Hey, what's going on everybody? Super Trucker Tim here again, and today I am replacing a water pump on a 1996 Ford Ranger, and it was not intentional. Let me tell you guys the story. I started going through the radiator and some of the hoses, and I noticed I had rust, and a lot of rust. So I put an anti-rust agent in the radiator, and all of a sudden started getting leaks. Now this is not uncommon at all, because what happens is sometimes the rust will actually form a seal because it gets so bad between your water pump and the water escaping. So when you remove the rust, of course you're going to get leaks, and that's when I discovered just how bad it was. So I did 4 flushes, and I used Blue Devil. This is a product that you can buy at any auto parts store. Goes through and helps flush out a lot of the deposits. And so I started getting chunks, guys, coming out of there, you know, in these flushes. And I had to do 4 of them. I filled up several containers full of bad fluid loaded with rust. And so I got to one point where I had to take the water pump off. And I looked at that. Water pump was in horrible shape. The metal was so thin on it, I could actually bend it with my fingers. That's how toast that water pump was. So I made a decision after the flush. I'm going to replace the water pump. So I yanked the pump out, and I saw the most unbelievable thing, guys. Ford, most of the time they have great designs on the Ranger. In this case, not so great. It is literally a pipe that pushes up into the water pump. There's no fittings to tighten and screw and adjust. There's no clamps. It's just literally a metal rod or a pipe that pushes up into the pump and has one little ridiculous O-ring that's supposed to seal everything. I hated the design right when I first saw it, right guys? So I went ahead and did it because that's what they say to do. Pushed it in. Sure enough, it blew out. It lasted 2 days. It was no good. I hate that design, guys. So I'm going to show you not only how to replace the water pump, but how to bypass all of that and circumvent the problem. So what I did, guys, is I went to a junkyard, and you can find a hose big enough to go around the outside perimeter of the water pump. And I got extra lucky because I found one in a hot rod older sports vehicle that actually tapers down to a smaller size, which is exactly what I needed. And it was still a little bit too big for the metal pipe, and you need that metal pipe because it's got a splitter to where your heater core comes in. So what I ended up doing was I took another piece of hose, a smaller piece of hose, put that on the metal pipe, then pushed it up into the new radiator hose and sealed that with 2 hose fittings just to be on the safe side. And it works great. I've got 0 leaks, guys, and I don't have to deal with that absolutely ridiculous setup they've got. It that should be in like a 1911 tractor of some sort, not in a modern vehicle, guys. But I'm going to walk you through how to do this, okay? So first off, what you want to do is go into your radiator. You want to pull out the 2 screws on either side of the top of the radiator, and then there's just 2 feet the radiator sits in. Pull those out, and then pull your shroud out. And the shroud just has 2 screws on the top also, and it'll pop right out together. Take your top radiator hoses, push those back, push your air filter back, and then have a container underneath the motor to collect all of your coolant that you're going to drain out. So now you want to take the fan off, okay? So you want to go through, and the easiest way I did it, guys, is I had an open-end wrench, and I put a piece of metal pipe on the end of that and made an extension so I could reach down and get the fan off easily, take those bolts out. Next, you're going to take off the serpentine belt, and that's not too hard. So what I use is a breaker bar, and you can put a reducer on your breaker bar, pull that all the way up, and then the serpentine belt comes right off. And here's the location you're looking for, guys, for your tensioner. So now that you got your fan belt off, now that you got your fan off and you've got your serpentine belt off, now you can take off the pulley. Okay, now you've got 3 bolts. You got to take out your 3 bolts, and then your water pump will come loose. And be careful, guys, because when you take out that last bolt on the very bottom, that's when you're going to have a bunch of coolant drain out, so just be aware. Now, in the original setup of your pipe, you've got 2 screws that kind of go into a bracket, and they help keep pressure on that metal pipe that pushes up into the water pump, and that's located right underneath your alternator. So that's it, guys, and then you just do the opposite when you put everything back together. The whole job took me about 2 hours. It is a little bit invasive. There is quite a bit you have to do to get to it, but it really isn't horrible. It'll save you a lot of money to do it at home. So that's it. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Super Trucker Tim out.